So Porto 1, Arsenal 0, Kenny. 5 straight wins in the Premier League, blitzing team, 0 shots on target tonight, and all to do in 2 weeks' time at the Emirates. That was extremely poor. And yeah, they had a game plan, they executed it, and their right winger showed us some levels tonight. Conceição or Conceição, however you say his name. What a performance from him, the boss's son. And they probably should have gone 1-0 up in the first half. Ball watching in the box. His cross came in, and they hit the post and shanked it wide. Other than that, we did nothing at all going forward. And yeah, what did you make of that, mate?
Well, you got to realise this, that a lot of our fans, you know, were over euphoric for me. I think when I look at their performances, I'm not taking any away from our performances. They're beautiful watch, and I enjoyed every one of them. But Porto aren't Burnley. They're not West Ham. This is a team that, you know, that has pedigree in Europe. You know, has this league 2 more than us. And yes, even though we're banging form, tactically they got everything spot on. Possession does not equate to domination. It doesn't equate to, you know, goal scoring chances. It doesn't equate to goals. We can celebrate the fact that, you know, we were controlling the game, and that game is probably a 0-0. Fair enough. And, you know, we could always say that, you know, it's a 90-minute game. But the fact is, you know, I think when you talk about us playing against top class teams in Europe, and, you know, maybe certain teams in the Premiership, especially away from home, this is where we are at the moment. We're not ready for the Champions League on a performance like that. We're still trying to find our bearings. You know, Saka, you know, got no change. He was getting changed out of virtually all the teams he was playing since we came out from Dubai. But against a team that can defend, and against in a competition where defences are going to be at their best, it wasn't easy for Saka. Martinelli, again, a no-show. In terms of like the midfield, you know, Havertz tried to make himself, you know, look busy, especially from set pieces. We had how many corners? We had about 8 corners. But defensively, their goalkeeper was fantastic. And the best player in the park was the Porto player. I thought Pepe was fantastic. I thought Valera was fantastic. In terms of the attack, you know, Galeno should have, you know, put them 1-0 up. I still don't know how he missed a rebound. You know,
oh, mate. Well, what was Saliba doing, by the way?
Well, that's the thing.
First shot, statuesque for the second shot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Saliba, you know, wasn't part of the wide awake club, and we were praising Kivior because of the performances that he displayed against Burnley and, you know, West Ham. But today, I thought he got done quite a few times, especially in the second half. You know, he got left to dead, got left for space, and he got turned a bit. Obviously, Havertz also, when he tried to help Kivior out down at left hand side, got turned inside out by Conceição as well. So it wasn't just at them, but it just shows you the levels of teams you play in this competition as compared to the Premiership. That's always going to be the equaliser. Now, thank God it's only, you know, like I said, 90 minutes. But I do think that Porto will be the happier of the two because they now got something they can hold when they get there.
And we know they're quick on the counter.
And yeah, they go to counter. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with their top goal scorer in the Champions League, but they did have but they still had you know, the player who scored 19 goals in 27 games. So there's goals there, and they can get you know, on the back of us. But you know, it was bound to happen. You know, I was always a naysayer of our chance in Europe. People were asking me, Ken, what do you think our best chances of silverware is this season? Is it going to be the Premiership or the Champions League? And I said the Premiership because the simple reason is that,
and we're 5 points behind in that, by the way.
Yeah, but obviously, you know, if we win our game in hand against Newcastle, who knows? But what I'm saying is that in terms of difficulty in games, I look at Man United away because they always turn to Brazil when they play us. Man City, of course, and obviously the North London derby. Apart from that, every game potentially could be winnable. And the way we're playing at the moment in the league, where I think this style of play our style of play and the way we play is more suited to blitzing teams in the league, is where we have best chance. The Champions League just can't do it. Really can't.
And the reason for that for me, I said this on the watch along, right? I predicted a 2-0 win. We all predicted a win on the podcast
Well,
on Monday.
I said 1-1 because of
Oh, sorry,
because
you
of
did. I'm lying. You did. You did.
because
The
of the
rest of
fact
us
that
predicted win, but we all said at the same time, this is not a team to be mugged off. These Portuguese teams and Spanish teams are mad technically gifted. Yeah, they know the dark arts. They will fall over. Yeah, they're quick on transition from back to front. They've got a shithouse centre back who's the same age as me, by the way. Same age as our manager, by the way. Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, same age as us. Had an easiest night of his life. Yeah, nobody threatened. The goalkeeper didn't have to get his gloves dirty. Like, and the disrespect to some of these teams, Kenny, and people are moaning about the referee. Yeah, right.
Nah, that's a cop out.
He shouldn't have put Declan in the first minute. I thought that was a bit harsh.
No,
right?
you have to. You've got to realise this is not anti-Taylor. This is not this is not anti-Taylor. This isn't like Paul Tierney. This isn't any of Chris Kavanagh. It's not one of our referees who know Declan. In Europe, you tackle like that in Europe. Doesn't matter whether it's the first minute or the 90th minute. You're going to get booked for that. That's European football. You can moan all you like about the standing refereeing, but we talk up our referees a lot. Oh, sorry, we talk them down. But then we try to compare them to Europe. But I think a lot of English fans, especially Arsenal fans, need to watch games in Europe more. And if they watch more European football rather than glance over the goals, they'll realise that referees do referee like that. What did the referee do wrong? He didn't do much wrong. There was a bit of argy-bargy at corners. Goalkeeper caught it. That's it. The same sort of argy-bargy that you get in the Premiership. The fact is, we didn't trouble the scorers. Midfield, we weren't able to, like I said, play.
Oh, we got cut through in that first half.
Yeah,
oh my
goodness. Well, but we were, we're not able to, play, through the lines. As I mentioned earlier, our wingers weren't able to get the run on their full backs, so it was an easy game for them. Yes, we had possession, but the fact is they never lost shape. They panicked. They were
comfy. They knew Martinelli was more dangerous going forward. Trossard was anonymous, by the way. Yeah, should have scored off the volley. He's got better technique than that. He ballooned it out the stadium. Every time he got the ball, they were on him quick. Whereas with Saka, they let him have his time on the ball because they know he's going to come back inside, and it's so predictable.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yes, it was a half chance, but that was probably the only chance we had. That's the only time an Arsenal player had time on the ball and marked, and it was only an half chance anyway. It was a very opportunistic. It wasn't as predictable as all our other corners where we were playing into
our corners were awful in that first half. It's like Ben White's laying on his bum in the back of the net, before the ball's even kicked. Yeah, and then a 6'4" giraffe, is jumping over the back of a player, headering everyone wide, and it was like,
you got to include Gabriel in that, because normally Gabriel's better from set pieces, but he had a free header. He's put over the bar. But in terms of goals,
sorry to cut you off. Sorry, 1 second. Even that, that was in stoppage time. They wasted over a minute taking that free kick, and then he puts it over the bar. At that point, they get it out. They take the goal kick and whatever. We then faff around with it, and this is the difference between having knowledge and playing consistently in Europe year in, year out. Because Pepe had one where he was under pressure, and he was just like, bang, just hoof it, get it out. Whereas our players, 30 seconds to go, Kenny, poncing around with it, a turnover of the ball, keeper 6 foot off his line, Declan puts his arms behind his back, turns away, don't engage him, back of the net 1-0.
But you look at that phase of play, it was disaster from the first phase of play where the keeper gets the ball, his clearance is poor, they win the first ball, we win it back somehow, and then we give it away. Gabriel Martinelli tries to, instead of trying to keep it simple, he's trying to, create a counter attack that wasn't there. They Galeno breaks the play, and then he takes his chance again. Declan Rice could have got a bit tight. The keeper was well off his line because the keeper's not anticipating the fact that Galeno's going to put that ball into that space in the goal. A lot of people now are coming up to me, Aaron Ramsden fans as well. Good friend of mine, Andy. We're having a row on WhatsApp because he's saying he's blaming Raya for that. He's saying that Raya should have saved that.
Did he blame Ramsdale for getting lobbed from the halfway line against Sporting last year?
No. I think what it is that in terms of like convincing Arsenal fans whether Mikel's made the right decision, there's still a lot of favouritism towards Aaron Ramsdale. It doesn't matter that in the last few games, Ray has been more controlled. The team looks a lot better defensively, a lot more in control of games because we're passing the ball a lot better. It doesn't matter, as far as a lot of Arsenal fans are concerned, Ray has cooked his goose. He's cooked his goose by just being there. He's cooked his
Yeah,
goose.
that's fine. Wait till Ramsdale's sold. It'll all be in tears.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. But the fact is, the result was fair because the better chances did come from Porto. But if it was 0-0, it would have been a good result for both teams. It'd been a good result for Porto because it's going to be just a 90-minute game. It's just going to be a kickoff for the quarterfinals. At the moment, they got the advantage. I know for a fact we're going to start a lot better than that. We're going to start with a much higher tempo. But the thing is, once we have that sort of 15 minutes of domination, it's still 0-0. I have serious concerns because Porto will become comfortable. And then when they become comfortable, there's going to be a chance where they're going to get ambitious. And when they get ambitious, they're not going to be like throwing bodies forward. They're going to just be controlled, but they're still going to get back. That's why I think.
Not only that, there was instances in that first half, right? Literally one pass, and they were 4-on-2, 4-on-3, 4-on-4.
That's the thing, and that's where I do have concerns about certain players. Kivior, as well as he's playing, that's when you
White was tonight, by the way.
Yeah, Ben White as well, but more Kivior because they were attacking, their right hand side, which is their right hand side, and Kivior was getting skinned. He was getting too tight, and he was getting spun, and they were getting into positions and were. Like I said, create opportunities down the right-hand side. So that's another situation where he's got to improve because I'm assuming that Zinchenko is still out. I don't think he's going to be ready for a good while yet. And Tommy Asu's come back from the Asian Cup injured. So, again, we're going to rely on Kivior, and he's got to do a lot better because, a lot of teams in the Premiership ain't good enough to exploit that weakness in Kivior.
Yeah, because they ain't got no technical ability. Yeah. Constant hours.
In Europe, where teams are tactical, that's a different kettle of fish. But the good thing about it, the only positive today is that it's only 1-0. We have proved that when it gets to the second leg, when we give in a lot of space and we play at high tempo, we can win that. It can go two ways. Either it's 0-0 and we're out of Europe, or we score an early goal and win 5-0. That's the way we have been this season.
But under this manager, the history of this manager, mate, lost to Olympiacos at home. Out. Drew 0-0 at home to Villarreal, lost 2-1 on aggregate. Sporting Lisbon, lost at home, done on penalties. Or drew at home, sorry, done on penalties. He's lost to Lons this season. He lost to PSV last season. Like in other games. Bro, I'm not confident at all. And this is why I don't get hyped up when people are saying bring on Real Madrid. No, get through Porto and then give me Madrid then, because this fan base goes so giddy and then don't learn.
They do, but you've got to realise right now, the majority, it's only the minority are shouting their ladders, and they are euphoric because of the last few performances. But the penny has probably dropped that it's a different competition against different opposition and better opposition. It doesn't matter where they are in their table; it means nothing. League form clearly meant nothing for us because we were in fantastic form. That didn't equate into a good performance today. League form for them, where there was it 7 points. Was it 7 points off the top
Yeah.
They say it's a mid-table side, but realistically, they've still got a chance. But they need a few snookers. Their alleged bad form did not translate into the Champions League because they put on a very, very good defensive and tactical performance. Whilst we were controlled, but so we controlled the game. We did control doesn't equate to the domination that I like, which is creation of chances and goals. It was possession, which is basically meant sweet FA.
Yeah, make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. We're out. Yeah, Jez next, Matty after that, and player ratings. Adios. Ciao.